Hello everyone, welcome to this new video, and in this video we are going to see a endgame mastery of Karpov. So this game I have taken from the tournament in Dortmund in 1993. Karpov was white, black was Serpar. So in this position it was white to play, and how we'll see that how Karpov actually found all the candidate moves, spotted that, and then eventually win the game. So many candidate moves can be selected for white in this position. Computer is suggesting bishop into b7, rook into b7, and then followed by knight f3. And white is having that queenside majority, little bit pressing position. So this is the thing. But like a player like Karpov, it is not about the what computer is suggesting. It's more about what kind of practical situation scenarios will come, and then how are you going to place that position. Practically it will be much more difficult for white to play black to play in this game, and then eventually your opponent will make a mistake and then you will win the game. So even the most experienced player will spot that idea what Karpov played, but it's not about only finding that move, but it's all about that playing that move, and then how are you going to come into that resulting end game which will be winning for white. That is much more important. So Karpov played here knight to f5. Anyone can see this move because this thing simply lies on if you take queen e7, rook e7, and bishop b7. You cannot take because of rook d8, checkmate, right? That's the main point. So in this moment, black took on e5, queen e7, rook e7, bishop b7, and now rook f8 played by black. So that is the moment. So everyone can see up to this. But here the point is what Karpov has seen, an extra move, which is now the tactics are over and white has played bishop a6, and white is having a clear advantage. With this last move on a6, bishop on a6, white is saying I'm going to push this pawn c5, c6, c7, c8. Okay, eventually I'll bring my rook to the d7 or d8 square, and that c file I have more control than the black, and the queening square which is the c8 is controlled by my bishop on a6. Okay, and with more active rooks, with an extra pawn on the queen side, white has no problem actually to convert this advantage into the full point. We'll see that how the game went. Black has played g6, white played c5, eventually following the plan. Okay, bc5, bc5, rook c7 played by black, rook c1 defending the pawn on c5, rook e8. Again, you cannot come to c8 and put more pressure because of the bishop. So now white has played c6. Passed pawn must be pushed, right? So pawn has go to c6. King g7 played by black. King f1. Rook to e5. Bishop to b7. And now see that how slowly white is grinding this position and squeezing this position, and black pieces is little bit uncomfortable, right? Black played rook f5, trying to create some sort of counter play. White has played rook to d1. White is already planning to play rook d7. Rook to e5 again come back, which is definitely not the good way. If you came here, so probably the better try would have been take, but it is still losing because of the rook d7. So after rook e5, white has played rook d7, rook e7. Okay, you cannot take because if you take simply just queening and wins. So rook to e7, rook c7, rook c7. And now white has to find some way to win the game. So here white has played rook to d8. The idea is I'll go to 8, I'll capture here, and then a pawn will be another pass pawn. Just look at Karpov's brilliancy. Okay, he slowly came into a situation with an extra outside pass pawn as white, and then simply invading in black's camp and pick up another weakness on a7 and then try to capture it. Rook to e7, f3, stopping any kind of knight e4 or knight g4 plan, g5, rook a8, g4, fg4, fg4, rook a7, and now this pawn is another pass pawn. Knight to d5, rook a4. Now white is ready to pick up this pawn as well. Knight e3 check, king to g1, king f6, rook f4 check, and at this moment black resigned the game actually. What will happen if king will go to uh, g7? I believe that it's pretty straightforward. I can simply play a4 and just this pawn is promoting. And there is no way you can stop. This rook is completely tied down for the c7 move. This knight also can go back, but then this pawn will eventually fall. You can play h5, but it is already too late after h5, a5, maybe, yeah, simply a5. And then probably knight d5, rook to d4, and rook f5, rook d4, I believe, yeah, just simply just winning, and a6 with the idea of a7, a8. White is having no problem to win this game. I hope you like this video. If you have learned something from Karpov's style, please comment it down below. And if you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe. And if you want to see any other Karpov's game, please tell me in the comment box so I can make video on those things. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.